My name's Sara Schambers. I'm a proud fourth-generation auto worker. I followed in my great-grandfather's, my grandparents', and my mother's footsteps. But the difference between my generation and past generations is they had a pension. I do not. I don't have health care when I retire, and I do not have retirement security. I've been an auto worker for 17 years. 6 of those years I worked at Ford as a full-time temporary employee until 2012. That was a big moment for me. Because for generations, getting a job at Ford meant stability and security. It meant being able to plan for yourself and your children. It meant being able to buy a house and see a future for yourself. But for those of us that hired in after the financial crisis, that has not been our truth. My grandfather gave 3 decades to Ford Motor Company, and in return, he got to retire at age 55 with a pension and health care. He was afforded the dignity to have a life after Ford Motor Company. My grandmother, she had a different path. She was hit with Lou Gehrig's disease. But she didn't have to choose between doctors, rent, or food. She knew she had health care and a pension to rely on as she retired and struggled through her health. For me, in sickness or in health, I don't know what my future holds. I didn't become a fourth-generation auto worker because I love building cars. I didn't become a fourth-generation auto worker because I love the low starting pay or the lack of a retirement security that we now know. I come from a family of auto workers because for years it was a career, one that you would put work in and get something out of it. In a lot of ways, for generations, Ford was the American dream. It meant if I pitched in, if I worked hard, I'd be able to have a life after Ford Motor Company. But without a pension, without health care, we have people leaving these companies after 30 years with nothing more than a have a nice day and I hope the stock market doesn't crash. That is unacceptable for America. The companies were adamant that they couldn't afford to add to our pension liability. They said that Wall Street would look down on them and that giving back our pensions could affect their stock prices and possibly lead to lower credit ratings. Nowadays, a stock price is more important than 150,000 auto workers. That's a shame. So I want to close by asking you, our U.S. senators who represent us, which side are you on? The American workers who elect you, or corporate greed in Wall Street, who say a dignified retirement is too much for the American people to ask for?